everyone out there. This is your host Pompeii for Glamour and Weird. We're going to start off today with a description of the Leo rising sign or ascendant. I figured I'd start with Leo rising because that's what I am. So Leo risings are very proud. They're very, confident. Confidence comes naturally. They don't have a problem with that. It's like an innate, it's kind of like being given the star at birth to kind of shine. It's our birthright. We walk and we feel regal. We feel glamour, and it's like a natural thing. It's just like naturally we have a dominant sort of presence. It's not anything we try for. It just comes naturally. Introverted people might find it really intrusive, but they're really magnetic, really magnanimous. Think the sun. People kind of rotate around them. They're warm, magnetic, sunny disposition. Leo's ruled by Jupiter, so they're very jovial. And Leo rules the heart, so they're very giving and loving people. Their hearts are full, and they can be very generous. Also, they're really flashy. They love to adorn. That's why I wore this for this, because I love to wear things that make me stand out. Like I said, when a Leo walks into a room, everyone stares. They kind of have like the stoic, walk of confidence and regality and glamour, darling. When I'm out with my friends, sometimes they'll be like, oh my God, why is everybody staring at us? But I'm like, oh, darling, I'm used to it, A lot of Leo ascendants tend to be like entertainers. They have a really flamboyant personality. Again, sort of think lion, prideful, courageous. They normally have like a golden skin color tone. They sort of look feline. They can be shy, they can be introverts, but back to when they walk in a room, people will still stare, even if they're introverts. It's a natural, again, sort of like the sun. Can't help themselves, Second house, ruled by Virgo, Mercury. Second house rules money, so they're good at becoming, amazing, communicative entrepreneurs. Sometimes they can be good at handling their money, but depending on other aspects of the chart, they're not, like me. Third house is ruled by Libra, Venus. With the Venus, they just want to make everyone feel loved and appreciated, including themselves, and they like to make people feel special. They like to feel special. They're the kind of people who have birthday week or month. They're very prideful, and kind of like if you hurt their pride, hurt their heart, they'll cut you off like that. I've always been that way, like a silent treatment thing. If you make me upset and really offend me in some sort of way, my way of getting back at you is by being really nice to everyone else, but acting like you don't exist. That's kind of like my specialty. Just a survival method, kind of like you hurt my pride and I just can't have that. So, gotta cut it off so it doesn't happen again. They like to communicate and come to an understanding. They're a very dynamic personality. It's not just the sunny disposition. It's also the Venus ruling the Libra communication. When they talk, it's sensual, pleasing. They're natural communicators, and it makes them sort of a dynamic personality. With the Scorpio ruling the fourth house, they tend to have a very strong psychic connection with their mothers. There could be some sort of deception involved, secrets. Maybe they take on a secret of the mother. They tend to be the oldest child and kind of take on the mother's right to protect the home. Very deeply involved with the home environment. They're really protective of their dead. Fifth house in Sagittarius, they love to travel. They're very esoteric. They have an esoteric relationship with their children. They like to instill their intellectual, esoteric beliefs to their children. Sixth house in Capricorn, they do better as bosses, to be their own boss. They're really good at the daily grind, kind of even if the job's really difficult or exhausting or something you don't really want to be doing, as long as there's a steady paycheck coming, they'll hold that just because they need that stability. With the seventh house in Aquarius, that's partnerships, the kind of partnerships they attract. They kind of want someone who is different and unique, but sort of brilliant. Someone they can show off. but show off for being so odd and weird. They're proud of them, kind of like, look at who I have. They're so weird and unique, and there's nobody else like them. But it's like they're all in or all out. There is no gray area there. They're either, all for it, or like there's just a sort of a sense of detachment or aloofness. It's not really feeling like they're, the right, person for them. With the 8th house in Pisces, there can be like deception here or problems with addiction issues or gambling issues. But also they're very intuitive, psychic, into the occult, esoteric. They can be like very dynamic astrologers. With the 9th house in Aries, ruled by Mars, when it comes to like their belief systems, religion, or anything, they're very gung-ho, militant, very much like my belief is right. I was vegan for a while, and I was very much like, this is the way it is, and like this is the way you need to be because this is what's right. A bit of an extremist. They definitely have strong opinions. With the 10,000 Taurus, they're very stubborn. They know what they want. They tend to be very flamboyant. And, they kind of need that stage. Kind of like, look at me, I'm a lion. Look at me. With the 11th house in Gemini, ruled by Mercury, they're great communicators. This is also supported with the 2nd house in Virgo and the 3rd house in communications, Venus. Communication needs to be there for these people to make money. They are communicators. They, again, the stage. They can sell anything. They're kind of like a walking commercial. I've always been like that. I'm a radio personality. I'm good at getting people to listen, They tend to have lots of friends, but not really close friends. They kind of normally have like 1 or 2 close friends usually. Again, all this depends on other aspects of the chart and where the planets are to activate these areas of the chart. But basically, they tend to have like casual acquaintances, but they need these casual acquaintances for mental stimulation. Me and my other little Leo rising from, we love to say, oh, darling, we need to go out and seen and be seen. And that's very Leo rising. It's like you need the stimulation of like the networking and like meeting new people and like seeing people and just saying, oh, hello, darling, how are you? And also like looking fabulous and getting lots of compliments. That's very Leo rising. And then with the 12th house in Cancer, it's like these tidal waves of emotion and spirituality. They go from, feeling really emotional to really stable. Same thing with spirituality. They might be really, spiritual and in tune, and then they'll go from like, this ebb of like, not really caring about spirituality at all. When it comes to like their Leo rising sign, like a lot of people think that they're really just vain and stubborn and narcissistic, which actually these can be the negative signs of this sign. And, all signs have these negative qualities, and they kind of have to, it's part of the learning, growing process to work through these negative aspects. But, they do think a lot about themselves, but it's because they know how powerful they are, and they really need to think about how to channel this, for a positive experience. So it's important to admire their positive aspects and, what Leo risings do instead of focusing on all the negative stuff. Just to close up here, like again, like think big hair, a mane. I have short hair, but I dyed all these crazy colors so it can stand out. They like to stand out, bling bling. Normally I'm covered in rings and jewelry. They like to adorn themselves. They're excessive and gestures. Very magnetic people. They also tend to wear youthful clothing and kind of be sort of kids at heart. With the Jupiter there, they tend to attract good fortune. Last second, some chariot comes and saves their butt from whatever trouble was about to head their way. It all depends on other aspects of the planets. These planets are activated. This is the basic basis of their personality. So I hope you enjoyed my Leo rising sign description, maybe you information, and I have lots of fabulous stuff coming your way. Glamour and weird, darling.